Okay, all right, let's jump in real quick. As you can see, that Cadillac already sold, and it's my understanding there was somebody that was watching this last show. So, congratulations on acquiring that Cadillac. That was a good deal. This one's pending as well. I'm not sure if that one's from the show. And so, yeah, let's just move on. Let's see, that one sold, that one sold, that one sold. Sold. Okay. I'm surprised this one's still here. This one should go quick. I didn't mean to click on it. All right, sorry. Okay. All right. So let's start today's. And as you can tell, I've already posted it, and one's already sold that I already put on here. But I'm gonna show it to you anyway because I knew it was a good deal. Dead gummit. Dang it. I really wanted to add a 57 Chevy to the collection today, but all right. Anyway, we're gonna burn through these as quick as we can because I added way more than I thought I was going to add. So let's just get going here. Obviously, you know where I stand on these Broncos, these first gen Broncos. You can see on this one, this is actually not in bad shape at all, body wise. Look at that. You can see that the body is good. Rockers are going to have some rust. Yep. So you can see that. Um, let's see how the floors look. Floors don't look terrible. They don't look great, but they don't look terrible. Looks like they've been patched before, maybe. Um, but yeah, that looks good. It's got good meat on it, got good stance to it, and it is cut. It's not an uncut tub. Um, see, it's a 66 Bronco. It's got a 302 in it with roller rockers. Ran 4 years ago, has been sitting ever since. Um, Frame and suspension are in good shape. Body is rusty. So yeah, you can see the rust here. You can see some rust here. But this is common on these, and I still think at 10.5 that's just a no-brainer. Yeah, the rocker on that's going to be rusty, but that has got a good stance and a good buy to it. I wish it had the hardtop with it. I don't think it does, but motor, drivetrain, it's all there and intact. Oh, let's go back here. I think I saw something there. Yeah. Okay, so the tub does have some rust right here. Um, and you can see this is Bondo here. Bondo across the top. So I'm sure that's the only problem with these darn Broncos is you're always chasing rust on these dug-in things. But man, I tell you what, they're bringing stupid money. So yeah, you can see the rust. There it is, right there. So you can see the rust right there. I still think it's worth the 10.5 all day long, all day, every day. I bet you can make 5 grand on that one. No problem. Okay, let's go to the next one. This one here, I was a little torn on this one, a little taken back. I think where am I going to end up on this? I put it on here because I just couldn't decide and I didn't want to forget about it, so I put it on here. I think you're going to have to go look at it. He doesn't say anything about whether it runs, how good it runs. I think it's going to come down to how good this thing runs. It's got a old Warren 8274 on it. I don't know. It's just got the look to me. I really like it. I think it's appealing. It has a good stance to it. Um, yeah, I think this one could easily be an $8,500 truck with a little bit of touch up, a little bit of cleanup, get rid of some of this wiring, clean up some of this. Oh, that's the other reason I liked it. It's an automatic. Man, these late 70s short bed 4-wheel drives are really getting hard to find in automatic. They're mostly 4 speed. So I don't know. I think this is a good buy. I really do, guys. Especially with a big block in it. It's got a big block that looks like what's that going to be? I don't know. That could be a 429, 460, or it could be man, I'm not really good with identity on. I'm pretty sure that's a big block. It looks like a 429 or 460 to me. So anyway, if it runs and I don't know, you're just gonna have to look at this one, guys. Sorry, that's if I was closer, I'd jump in the truck and go look at that one for sure. Because I think you could get 85 for that all day long. That's $2,500 profit on that one. Okay, so these are interesting. Don't sleep on these little CRXs, especially these HFs. These are getting highly sought after. The HF ones were the 60 miles to the gallon ones. And they're really getting hard to find. These are things that are getting scarce and becoming quite collectible. This one does need some work. It needs a whole front end, really. It needs fenders, front bumper, and but for 1,500 bucks, that's hard to beat because I'm seeing these things a clean one going for 6,500. So there's room here on these guys. Yeah, I think that I'd be a player on this one. So if you're in the area and you're interested in one of these again are becoming quite collectible because of the impressive miles per gallon you got out of these things. They were insane. They only built them for a very, very short time. So I wouldn't sleep on that. Okay, so high boys, obviously. Okay, here's my feeling on high boys. I've been selling, I've sold four high boys in the last month that I had sitting in the back, and every one of them sold from 3,500 to 9,500. So they're the nicer ones are going for 6 to 10 grand. And ones in this shape. I mean, look at this one. This one's pretty beat up. It's got dents on every panel. These are going for anywhere between 2,500 and 5 grand. So there is some room on this one. Um, but the, the reason I was interested in this one is most of the ones that are out there for sale do not have titles. So this one has a title. I would obviously talk him down. It's been listed for a while. You should be able to talk this guy down to, I would say 2,200 maybe, and clean it up. Power wash all this, get this all cleaned up, get the interior cleaned up a little bit, put a seat cover on it, and you could probably get 5,500 for it. I'd say 45 for sure. 55 is probably pushing it with as many dents around it. But it is still a high boy, 75 high boy, and these are getting hard to find, and they're starting to go up in price. Okay, next one. Hard to beat a one-ton crew cab that runs 7.3 IDI, guys. So it's got the Hypermax turbo kit. I mean, this is this was a money truck back in the day, and I would not sleep on this one either. This is a these things run forever. Great trucks. Anytime you can get a one-ton crew cab four-wheel drive for 3,500 bucks and it's diesel, I think you're golden. So yeah, there's a guy here on YouTube. You got to look him up if you're interested in these old IDIs. What was the name of his channel? It's Bias Plies. Zip ties and bias plies, or bias plies and zip ties, or something like that. If you search that, you'll find him. That's the name of his channel, and the dude is hilarious. He's from Canada, but he's always resurrecting these old IDIs and showing how I mean, they just run forever. They're really impressive, guys. This one is worth every penny of the 3,500. I'm telling you. Um, you clean this one up. This is an $8,500 truck, 65 to $8,500 all day long. All right. So that's that one. Okay. Told you about these 3/4 ton Suburbans in this body style. This is the last of this body style that was real metal. All this is metal. After this, they came plastic panels and they got really chintzy on the build quality. These had solid seats in them that were thick cushion. Okay, so here's the one thing that my only caveat with this one is go check out because obviously they did not take good pictures of the interior. So this is the best I have on the front seats, and I have a feeling that you're going to need to recover the front seats. But it is a 6 liter, which I liked them both. I like both motors. They only came with an 8.1 or a 6 liter in the 3/4 ton four-wheel drives. So either one was uh, either one was great. I love the 8.1 for its power. I just don't like the aftermarket support on them. The 6 liter, obviously, 6 liters got plenty of aftermarket support, but there is a large following for these 3/4 ton Suburbans, guys. So, do not sleep on this thing. And yes, it is four-wheel drive, and then they got 4 auto on these. These are really cool. Um, this is an early one, so it doesn't have any of the steering wheel controls. The later ones had controls on the steering wheels, but that's kind of a desirable piece. But for 2,300, you're not gonna go wrong, especially under 200,000 miles. I think this is a good buy. Okay, next one. This one is crazy. 460 with a 5-speed manual. Somebody swapped it over to a 5-speed manual. It's got a replacement tank, 38-gallon replacement tank. Um, Extended cab, long bed, four-wheel drive. Yeah, this one is definitely worth the 5 grand. Uh, Unfortunately, I wish it was one color. You know how I am about that. I like them all one color, but it's not. Um, but anyway, no, this is a good one. I'd be curious to see what T case it has in it. I'm assuming it has the T case that came with the 5-speed manual, which is going to be a Borg Warner, probably um, Borg Warner T case. The other thing I'm kind of curious about is what year 460 is in it. I'm assuming it's carbureted. Um, but anyway, yeah, there's a couple of questions I have on this one, but you're definitely in the money at 5 grand on these. These are going for they're pushing 10 grand. This is the one, guys. I was super excited. I was so excited to put this one on there for you guys. This one was in the money. $15,000 for a Bel Air two-door hardtop. Man, that's and look at the body. It is good shape, man. I tell you. And it had been rebuilt by him and his dad in the 80s. This one was a good one. I'm sorry that I didn't get this out to you guys quicker, but that's just the way it is sometimes. They just, good ones go quick. Um, let's see here. This one is another one that's interesting. Now, still a little unsure on this one. He's dropped the price quite a bit. Obviously, it needs work, but it's in California and it doesn't have much rust. Got a little bit of rust on the hood here. Um, Somebody's put these hood pins in it. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what's under the hood anymore. I don't know anything about it, but man, I tell you what, anytime you can get a mid 50s two-door Cadillac, I'd be interested. I can't tell. I don't think these are rust holes. I think this is just part of it because I'd be shocked if these are rust holes and then not have any rust in the rockers. So the rockers don't have any rust. You know how I am about these Cadillacs. I think these are big money. So, obviously restored, these are going, pushing 40 grand. So, 35, 40 grand for a two-door hardtop. Um, so yeah, I think there's plenty of money to be made on this one, even if it's just a clean up and fix and flip. Okay, so I am not, let me repeat this. I am not a Ranchero fan. Hate Rancheros. Um, but again, it is hard to beat a numbers matching 429 combo for 3,000 bucks. And it's for California, so it doesn't have it's just surface rust. Look at the bed on that thing. Doesn't look like it's ever carried anything in the back. It's got one little ding over here on this fender, but The tailgate isn't beat up. The floor isn't beat up. Yeah, I'm not a Ranchero fan, but I would jump on this one just because it is a 429. You're not going to get hurt on this at all. He's got looks like he's got all the trim to go with it, and yeah, it doesn't need much body work. It doesn't look like. Obviously, he's got a ton of parts to go with it. Yeah, I think this one it's definitely worth 3 grand. Certainly worth 3 grand. Get it running. Make sure it's running and driving. If you can get it running and driving, this thing should be worth 6,500. Pretty easy. Just the way it sits, without doing anything. All right, next one. I was a little taken back on this one. I thought this was maybe it still is. I cannot tell with this picture. Doesn't that look like 4 bolts? Like this was an inline six, but it says it's a 289 C4, but it looks like a C6, but it's got a 289 emblem there. And I just can't tell, guys. I'm sorry. But double check that if you're gonna go look at this one. Look, yeah, see, inline six did not have a center console like that. At least not many of them that I've seen. So it very well could be an original V8 car, but I'm telling you, I'm that just looks like 4 lugs to me. And if it's 4 lug, obviously that's an inline six car. But anyway, double check on this one, guys, because that's still in the money. I mean, anytime you can get a clean or decently clean bodied Mustang Coupe with a V8 for under 10, I think you're in the money. So there's that one. All right, next. All right. This one here I think is worth 25. I know people will probably argue that with me, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. It's clean, doesn't have any dents, doesn't look like it's in bad shape at all, and it's a 4 speed. So, oh, I didn't catch this before. One of 358 made. Yeah, it's definitely worth 25 then, I would say. I wonder why it's one of rare factory 4 speed. So I'm wondering if it's because it's a 4 speed, they only made 358. That's interesting. But either way, I think you're golden on this one. Um, this is definitely in the money for sure. Anytime you can get a Buick like this with a 4 speed, man, yeah, I think that's worth 25 for sure. Okay, where are we? That one, that one. Okay, so this one. I did a little quick search for Toyotas, and here's the reason I settled on this because it's a 1986, so 86 was kind of a golden year. 86 had a solid, um, sure I'm making sure I'm remembering this stuff right. 85 and a half. Yeah, I'm not remembering that right. Sorry, guys. 85 and a half was fuel injected with a solid axle. 86, they went to independent front suspension. Either way, these first gen Forerunners are going for good money. Um, but you get um, the fuel injected 2.2 in this. Yeah. So this is the EFI. First year for it was technically 85 and a half is when they put it in. And they had a couple of them that were solid axles. And that's kind of the unicorn. That's kind of the one everybody's looking for. But these are still sought after, especially look at the no rust, no rust, no rust on the tailgate. This is a clean one. I think this is $6,500, maybe even 7 grand. Cleaned up a little bit. Uh, yeah, I'd buff out that paint a little bit. best you can, and yeah, yeah, I think it's worth it. So I think he's underpriced on that one. Okay, next one. Yeah, the only reason I think this one's underpriced, that's only if he's correct here, is if it's 100,000 miles. If it truly is a 100,000 mile vehicle. Um, if it's not 100,000 miles, yeah, these are going for closer to 10 grand for for stuff that's got 200 and 250,000 miles on them. But with 100,000 miles, yeah, I think it's worth 15. So you can make a couple of grand on that one, drive it for the summer and still be drive it for the winter. Heck, drive it for the winter and then sell it next spring. Um, okay, 65 Galaxie. This one is, I think, in the money. It's a 390 automatic car, but clean. It looks good. It looks real good. Um, it's the right color, maroon, tan interior. Yeah, this is a sharp looking car. He's got it listed at 65. I think it's a $10,000 car. I think you could sell that for 10. I'd list it for 10 and be willing to take 85 for it, and drive it in the meantime. So that's another one that's worth it. And then another Bronco. This one piss poor pictures. So you're gonna have to really verify this one, but it says it's a 302 3-speed. Um, he says the rust isn't too terrible, is what he's saying. So this one is at 7,500. If that's the case, this is definitely up in the teens. Anywhere between 12 and 17, I think, maybe even more. Just depends. The 74, so it depends on what's been done to it. Um, if it's still got the closed knuckle Dana 30 up front and drum brakes, or if it's been upgraded, if it's got manual brakes, power brakes, all that stuff. You got to verify all that, and that all adds to value or takes away from the value. So, but either way, this one's in the money at 75. Man, I think you can almost double your money on this one. All right, I threw this one in just for fun. You know how I am about my big old barges. I love my highway barges. Look at that bad boy. That sucker is long, man. That's every bit of 19 feet. Oh yeah. Two door. Look at that. Oh, that was the other reason I took. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen one with nice enough two-tone interior like that. I really liked the two-tone interior. Needs a little bit of patchwork up front, but these seats are super comfortable. If you've never driven in one, man, I'm telling you, these seats are comfy. It did unfortunately have a fire under the hood. Don't know more than that. Obviously, I'd ask for pictures of the damage under the hood, but I don't think it's been burned bad enough that it won't take paint. So I think you'd be okay to paint the hood and fenders if you wanted to paint it. I don't think I'd paint it. I just drive it the way it is. Um, but I love that. That's a bomber. Man, that's a highway bomber right there, boys. Man, big old 460 in that sucker. Boy, that's a super cruiser right there. Uh, all right. And then this one was interesting. Okay, so here's the only thing that scares me about this one is this one's in Ohio. But there's no way anything in Ohio is this clean. So I'm assuming it came from somewhere else. And um, because look under the hood, you can tell. Okay, so this is what to look for when you're looking under the hood of stuff. And you're looking at the painted stuff and looking at stuff that's not painted. And so like stuff like this, like the hose clamps right here and here, all this stuff would be rusted if it was an original Mustang from Ohio, and it's not. So I don't think it's an Ohio car. All this would be really rusty. Um, so this one's clean. Look at that. This is a V8 automatic, 289 convertible. But he does say, okay, so let's go, in all fairness here, He does say the frame is decent, but has some rust. So I'm assuming torque boxes because most of the convertibles down in the torque boxes they rust. Um, but it's not that hard to fix those. You can weld that and get that fixed. Well, it wouldn't take much to get that done. And this, I mean, you could easily double your money on that. I mean, this should be, you know, much higher than that is, unless there's something obviously I'm missing. But that's a pretty clean car for that kind of money. So I would be jumping on that one if you guys want a Mustang convertible. All right, last and not least, well, maybe least. I just threw this in right at the last minute because I saw it and I was like, oh wow. These high-low campers were steel framed. These are steel framed campers. They last forever. Um, and they always seem to work. And it's actually in pretty decent shape on the inside. Um, but for 1,500 bucks, you can't go wrong with that. That's a perfect hunting rig for 1,500 bucks. I've seen these selling for 3,500 all day long. So getting one for 1,500 is, half off. So yeah, there you go. Not normally looking at campers, but I just spotted that one on the way through. Hopefully you guys like everything you've seen. Really stinks about that one. I really wanted a 57 Chevy on the list. Um, if I had to pick one for the money, I don't know. I'd have to, not for the money. I'd have to try this one because I've never had a four-speed Buick. So I'd probably have to do the Buick. I'd have to go for that. All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.